Imagine you are standing on the shore and you see a person in a river and it looks like they are drowning. But when you take a closer look, you see that they are actually just floating on the surface of the water, and they've been able to adjust their body weight such that the waves are just carrying them and moving them with the current of the water. That is what it's like to walk by faith. Walking by faith is something that looks scary from the outside, because as humans, we depend on our logic, we depend on our experience, we depend on our human wisdom. But when it comes to walking by faith, it depends more on God's direction, God's leading, God's wisdom. And from the outside, that can feel scary, because the decisions that God will have us make sometimes may not always align with our logic and our experience and all the things that we know that worked in the past. Sometimes it would just be something that is so new and strange that we've never done before, and that can be really scary. But just like in that analogy, it's really about learning to adjust your body weight and allowing the river, the current of the Spirit, to just carry you, such that you're not really living by your own strength. You're not trying to swim against the current. You're not trying to move by your own power, but you're allowing the Spirit of God to just move you. And for that to happen, you have to actually have a surrendered life. So this means that you have to have surrendered your will to the will of God. You have to have surrendered your will to the Holy Spirit. This is the only way that we can really live in that river and flow with His current. Without that, we will be consistently depending only on our strength. We will have no other way to navigate difficult situations. We will have no other wisdom apart from the things that we have known. And when what we know doesn't work, then we'll be left stranded. But God's wisdom is available today to help us to solve any problems, to help us to come out of any challenging situations. But it requires us to depend on His Spirit. It requires us to depend on His wisdom, which may not always align with what we've always known. So God is inviting you to surrender your will, surrender your wisdom, surrender your desires, so that He can give you His own wisdom, so that you can begin to trust in Him and flow by the current of His river, and let His Holy Spirit lead you in everything that you are doing.